Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Sandra Colton-Medici, and I am so excited about doing this live stream today. I'm going live on so many different platforms, and I haven't done this in a while. So for everybody joining me on TikTok, how are you doing today? I am also live on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So in this live stream, I want to talk about 5 tips that you can use to develop your live stream pre-show. Now, one of the ways that I love introducing a new show on a live stream is just having introductory music. Okay, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but I want to definitely start out this live stream with one quick thing, and it's a screen. It's our thank you for joining us. Because if you don't make it to the end, I definitely want you to see this and be able to come back to it to join us for another live stream. So as we get into this, there are 5 things that I want to showcase, which are live stream delay tactics that you can use when you go live if you are waiting for people to come in. Okay, now I say if you are waiting, because a lot of people like me, I am just starting right away. I'm starting the live stream right away because I want people to know that if they're joining my live stream, they are important to me, that I'm not going to be giving them kind of this, we're going to be waiting for people to come in kind of a spiel, right? I don't need to do that. If you're going to be joining my live stream, typically people are on time, right? So what I want to do is if you need to stall, if you need to have some sort of delay tactic for your live stream, then you need to actually develop your pre-show. You need to develop something before you get into your core content that makes it so people don't feel like they're waiting around for something to happen, or like, maybe I should have just waited 15 minutes to show up, right? You need to make sure that you're developing a live stream pre-show that makes sense for the format of the content that's the core content that you are actually delivering during your main message. So I'm going to pull up some slides just for handy dandy reference here so that you can see 5 things that I think you can do to delay the start of your live stream without people feeling like they're being ignored. Okay. The first one is create engagement. One of those things is to create a quiz, right? Create something that people can respond to, that people can get into the comments on, that people have an opinion on too. So you don't want to create something that's kind of like, we all think it's one way or another. But think about something where people actually have to decide, where people have to make a decision, where people have to think about the question and engage. Gamification is really popular, especially during the holidays. If you're thinking about engaging people who are just on their phone for long periods of time, gamification of your content is really, really fun and helps you have a delay tactic for your live stream. It doesn't allow you to be like, hey, while we're waiting for people to come in, you don't even need to say that. You literally can just say, let's play a game, right? And have that be the start of your live stream pre-show. They don't even need to know that it's a pre-show because it's planned, right? So let's play a game. I want everybody in the audience to XYZ. Drop it in the comments, pick this particular whatever it might be that is your game. Give them instructions so that they have something to do. Okay. That's the first thing that you can do, is create a way for your audience to engage with you so that when you're doing your live stream, if you need to delay, whether it's because you want more people to come into your live stream or because you are not ready to start. That is a whole other area that, if you have a live stream checklist, that is really important to get into. But if you are not ready to start, or your guest has not arrived for your interview, or maybe something didn't load on your computer and you're just waiting for the technical aspects to figure themselves out, right? So your delay tactics might not necessarily be due to low attendance. They may be because of people not showing up on time, technical difficulties, whatever it might be. So this is a great way for you to engage with your audience by providing them some sort of engagement with you. That's number 1. The second one is tell your story. Even if you go into your brand story over and over and over on social media, you don't know how many people have actually heard it. right? You don't know how many people have actually tuned in to your live stream before to hear your brand story. And the best part about that is that your brand story has evolved. Since yesterday, since last week, since since the last 2 years, everyone's brand story has evolved. And that means that you can tell your brand story or updates about your brand during your live stream pre-show. Okay. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to come on and be the person telling the story. You could have video telling the story, or you could have some sort of video montage of your evolution of your brand. What I'm saying is that this is another tactic for delaying the beginning of your live stream in a very systematic way, in a strategic way, so that you give yourself a little bit of leeway so that people know, like, hey, I joined my live stream, I'm here and I'm waiting for this core content, but hey, that's kind of interesting. I'm either engaging with the chat, I'm engaging with a poll or a quiz, or I'm telling the details of our brand story that maybe people didn't hear before. Or if they have heard them before, maybe they're told in a different way. So instead of you telling the story, maybe it's somebody that you've worked with telling their interaction with your brand and how you've impacted them. Telling it from a client side is always a unique experience because you're not always hearing from clients, right? You're hearing from the brand most often than not. But having a client side testimonial is a different kind of behind the scenes that people aren't necessarily privy to for when they're hearing about your brand story. So just to reintroduce myself, my name is Dr. Sandra Colton-Medici. I am the founder and CEO of College of Style. And this today is my 5 tips for helping you develop your live stream pre-show. I'm going live not only on Twitter, but Instagram, or not Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok over here on my side. So if you see me going like this, that's because I'm looking at my TikTok folks. How are you guys? So when I am telling a story, I can tell it so many different ways. I can animate it in a cartoon. I could just tell it like I am now. I could have my clients tell their side of what their client experience was with my brand. There's so many ways that you can tell parts of your brand story that maybe your audience has not heard of, or in a way they've not heard of before. All right. So the third one, which I absolutely love, is to warm up your audience with music. Number one, it gives people more of an identity, right, about your brand. Your brand identity will come through if you are playing music that resonates with your core audience. It will give them kind of a vibe check, right? It's also what concerts do, right? They have musicians warming up, the warm-up artists, for the headliners. There are comedians who use warm-ups. There are comedians who use other comedians as warm-up acts. So it's not unheard of that you would have a warm-up act to your main event, right? And music is a great way to do that, whether it's showing music videos that make sense with your audience, and the content, like the theme of the songs, or it's actually just playing music, right? Just playing music in the background with kind of a like, we're starting in 5 minutes, or having something with a countdown. Countdowns are great to have on screen so that people know how much time they have, right? But the other thing is, if you're playing music, you can play DJ. You can play DJ and say, I wanted to play this song before we get started into our main content, because this is going to give you the mood of where we're going with this presentation or with this online event. It will help you set the tone, okay? Because it's the same reason that people on YouTube, they might be giving an online presentation, but there's always music in the back, right? Because it's something that is an identifier. It's something that people can go, oh, what's playing back there? Or it's something that people can go, oh, it helps the ambiance and the flow of things. Because if you have a random break in your talk, the music is still there, right? It's still keeping the flow. So that's a great way to warm up your audience at the very beginning. And even at the end, if you want some sort of post-show kind of credits or something like that, similar to watching a movie, right? The post-show credits are generally to a song, right? They're not just streaming up the screen with no music. Why would you do that, right? You want to keep people engaged, and that music is going to keep people there. They may not be even looking at the screen. I know I've watched tons of reiterations of replays of Encanto over and over and over and over again. And the reason I'm watching the credits, I mean, I watched the credits and looked at, who the choreographers were and who the actors were the first time. But every single time after that, I'm listening to the music, right? So it keeps people on there longer. So just know that that's a really great way to have a live stream pre-show that incorporates more of your brand identity so that people get to know you better through music. But also, if you want it as a post-show kind of recap, they're going to stay there longer. And the longer people are with you, the more they're going to know about you and the more you're going to nurture that relationship. All right. So number 4 is performance tools. When you get someone on a live stream, okay, you want them to be prepared for the core content, right? So if you have the performance tools outline of what you're going to need to maximize the absorption of the content, to implement the content afterward, then you can give them that what you're going to need. It's really just performance tools. It can be a checklist, right? You can say, hey, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to get started right away. And what I want you to do is make sure you have these tools with you, right? Make sure you have a pen, a piece of paper, a digital mobile device, right? Whatever it is that you need to have them have at the ready. Maybe it's you have the mobile device because I want you to take a screenshot and I want you to tag me on Instagram while we're doing our live stream, right? Anything that you need, you can tell them at the top. This is what you're going to need to be successful and have this information translate into your business. That is another thing you can talk about at the very top of your live stream without ever getting into your core content. And that gives people, you can say, I'm going to give you the next 30 seconds or the next 2 minutes to gather up these things, right? Your pen, your pencil, your mobile device, turning off your notifications, however long that takes you. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do that. And while I give you those 2 minutes to get prepared for how you're going to be successful with this live stream, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we did last week with our business. We worked with XYZ companies and we did branding, whatever it might be. But you keep that flow going because you've already gotten a live stream flow already prepared. And that means that your pre-show doesn't necessarily have anything to do with your actual core content, but it does have everything to do with giving yourself enough time to have people come in if you want higher attendance, to have different technical difficulties fix themselves or have other people fix them for you. Have people who might be your interview guests show up if they were having difficulties getting into your live stream. It has everything to do with that. It gives you time. And giving yourself time without making it seem like you're being a burden on other people or wasting their time, right? You don't want to waste people's time that showed up on time. You want to acknowledge that they showed up on time. The other way that you can acknowledge that they showed up on time is give them a reward, right? A lot of times people will be really excited to be there on time because in the first 30 seconds, whoever showed up, you may be rewarding all of those first people who, posted a comment in your live stream, right? So it gives people incentive to show up on time. One of the things that I like to talk about is missing out on opportunities, right? So when I was doing a lot of dance performance in the dance industry a long time ago, there was one particular choreographer who would not allow you into the room to learn the choreography for a particular audition if you were late. If you happened to get into the room when you were late, they would ask you to leave when they started doing the actual audition, right? So you could have showed up to the audition, made your way into the room. They would have known that you showed up late and they would have asked you to leave before they started the actual cuts, right? So just know that it is really great to show up on time, but you have to develop a rhythm, a sort of protocol for your live streams so that people understand when you are going to go full into your content and when you have these sort of delayed pre-shows. I think Facebook or Meta now, when I went to one of their online, digital conferences, they had an entire pre-show of literally just videos about Meta, right? Videos about Facebook. And at the time, I went, not too long after that, I was on the Apple new product reveal, right? It was just an image that was moving kind of through black and space and whatever. And then it was only music, right? It was great music. I actually went running while I was waiting for it to start. It was about 15 minutes. It was a long time when they had this pre-show where, what I would have thought would have been the start time was not the start time, but it warmed people up. Right? It got people into the mood of like anticipation. I hope this thing is good. This music is good. So just know that even bigger corporations, big corporate corporations, right, are doing this. They are pre-gaming, right? They're pre-gaming before they get to the actual main event. I do want to acknowledge, what is it, Shania? Hopefully that's your name on TikTok. And if you are joining me on a replay, definitely put in the comments, #replay, and which one of these live stream pre-show tips you're going to implement into your live streams, because I think that all 5 of these, are worthy of being implemented. You probably don't want to do all 5, but you do want to implement some of these so that you have this sort of repetition and rehearsal of them so that it feels like you know what you're going to next, right? The last one is connecting with your brand to ask them to follow you on different platforms, to showcase, what your website is, to give them your email address, or to even let them know how they can, get some sort of product that maybe you have with a promo code that's only available to the people who are in the audience at the time, right? And I know that that's like, what? You wouldn't offer it to everybody? No, you shouldn't offer it to everybody. It's rewarding the people who are there. And I get that people want to have like the largest audience to have this sort of reward system for, but you can offer a different promo code to the people who are there at the end, right? But for the people who are there at the very beginning, you can say for the next 2 minutes, while we are getting prepared with the performance tools that you need to be successful in this webinar or in this live stream, I want to make sure that you write down this promo code, because the people who see it right now in the next, whatever seconds, and use it right now are going to be the ones who are going to be able to benefit from it. So connecting with your brand is another one. Asking people to follow your profile, making sure that people know who you are and what your brand is and is about. And then also making sure that you have a screen, right? Either something at the bottom that says, what the brand is, or something in your bigger screen if you are doing things like I am right now on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and then also on TikTok. I don't have something on TikTok because I did not decide that I wanted to have like a green screen background for this particular live stream, but I do have it in the title, right? So I do have what it exactly says in the title, and I can use my voice to actually tell people to follow me, right? So making sure that people connect with your brand is another way to delay a live stream. Making sure that they know that they can follow you not only on the platform that you're live streaming on, but other platforms as well. Because we already know that different platforms will come and go, right? Social media platforms pop up and they pop off, at different times. So making sure that people know that they can follow you on your TikTok, on your Snapchat, on your Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and all of the platforms, the Pinterests of the world, right? So making sure that they know how to find you is really important so that they can click the bell on YouTube and then continue to see you. And then also that if they see it later, that they are understanding how to find you again. Right? If they see it on the replay, if you're seeing this on a replay, like I said earlier, put in the comments #replay and let me know that you were here, because I will respond. It's part of engaging with your audience, is making sure that people know that you are there for them and that you're showing up for them. Okay. So I'm going to go through these one more time from the beginning. First one, create engagement. Make people get in the chat with you, right? Get them in the chat with you. The more you get people engaging with you, the more you can have a conversation with them. I talked about gamification. Quizzes are amazing. Surveys are amazing. Get people to click through to your profile. If you're on a live stream, like a live Twitter Spaces, get people to click through to your profile to follow you right then. Put on your profile a link to a quiz, right? Where they don't have to leave the live stream because they're in the platform, right? But they can click through to a different part of the platform to follow you and to engage with whatever quiz or survey or game that you wanted to play at the time, okay? The second one, again, is tell your story. You can never tell your story too many times because you're always evolving, right? Tell your brand history, even if it's just what you did with a client yesterday. Nobody knows that except for you and the client, right? So it's going to be new and fresh to everyone except for you and that client. And that's everyone basically, right? So the next one, warm up your audience with video or music or together, video with music, right? It just makes sense. It's not unheard of. People do it at concerts all the time, at events, at comedy performances. Warm up your audience so that they are in tune with whatever mood you are trying to set, the vibe you're going for, so that they get where you're going, okay? The fourth one was performance tools and letting people know that they need XYZ performance tools in order to be successful with the content that you're going to be delivering during the live stream. And that gives them time to collect whatever items they might need, a laptop, a mobile phone, get in front of a background that makes sense, checking the lighting, whatever it is that you're asking them to do, it gives them time to get that ready so that they have better success with the information you're providing them after you are gone. The other part is it gives you time, right? You are delaying that beginning of your live stream. You are giving them a pre-show before the main event because you might have a guest that didn't show up. You might have technical difficulties that are happening. You may want to wait for people to show up. So maybe you want more attendees, right? So just know that it might not be, oh, I'm just gonna, I think we're gonna wait a little bit before we start. Like, don't do that. Don't do that because you have more to say than just that. And it doesn't matter if you said something one time, two times, three times, four times in your live streams. Am on TikTok as a live shopping business profile, right? So I have live shopping access. In their material that they tell you on TikTok with live shopping, they tell you, repeat yourself, repeat yourself, repeat yourself. Okay. And it's not just, oh, we're just going to make this up. There's data behind that. I do live shopping on Amazon Live. In their materials that they give to Amazon influencers that do live streams, repeat yourself, repeat yourself, repeat yourself, because people come in and out of your live streams. Not everyone is going to stay, right? So at the top of this, I told you my name is Dr. Sandra Colton-Medici, and I'm the founder and CEO of College of Style. These are my 5 tips for developing your live stream pre-show, and I have said that now 3 times during this entire 24-ish minutes that we've been on, right? And that's because repetition matters, not just because people come in and out, but because people who are with you need to hear that over and over again to make sure that they are remembering it and they can recall it at a moment's notice, because things come in and out even while you're sitting here, right? The telephone might have rang, an Amazon package might have, the doorbell might have rang. You might have been distracted because you needed to run to the restroom, right? There might have been something happening while you were sitting on the live stream. So you might have missed it even though you were here, right? So repetition, repetition, repetition is really important, okay? The last one that I mentioned earlier is connecting with your brand. If you are connecting with your brand, that means telling people to follow your profile. That is not a hard ask, right? Hey, while you're here, click through to my profile and hit that follow button. Or, hey, while you're here, connect with me so that you hit the bell notification on YouTube so that you get notified every single time I put up a live video. It's not hard, and it doesn't cost money, right? So if you're asking things that cost money, sometimes people get a little bit shy, shy about that. But if you're asking people to follow you and to click a bell notification, that's not going to cost them a dime, then that, my friend, is the easier ask than, hey, spend money by hiring me, right? It's really important that as you get into your live streams, that you have an ebb and a flow and a way, a style, like a, because my company is called College of Style. You have a communication style or a teaching style that makes sense for you. And if you can incorporate these into your live stream pre-show, maybe one, maybe two, maybe three, not all five, but some of them, to make your presentation be more of an ebb and flow instead of a like, hey, do this, hey, do this, hey, do this, then it makes more sense, right? And if you, I should do an after show. I think I'll probably do some tips for post live stream shows to give you some ideas on how to do that as well. But these are my five. And I always want to showcase, if you are on my live streams, that you have an opportunity to get discounts on my shop. So as I'm talking to you, let me pull up just so that I don't have this on the screen that you're seeing now, but you can get 15% off of my shop just because you're here by putting in the promo code HELLO15. So if you go to shop collegeofstyle.com, then you can get that 15% discount off of your first order on the shop. Again, it's HELLO15 as the promo code, and you can put that in at checkout to get 15% off of your first order on shopcollegeofstyle.com. So I'm going to put up on the screen, you won't see it on TikTok, but you will see it everywhere else, all of our social media profiles for Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Pinterest. Joining our College of Style community does not cost you any money. You can get access to our programs, our digital courses, if you are a member of the College of Style community or on our Shop College of Style website. So just know that those are available on both platforms. They are paid courses, but they are very valuable and really, really helpful to getting your business to the next level. Like I said, my name is Dr. Sandra Colton-Medici, and I'm so excited that you are here with me. If you are watching this on a replay, welcome. Definitely rewind this so that you are able to get all of the 5 tips for developing your live stream pre-show. I'm getting a little crazy there with the lingo. And join me in our communities. We have a Twitter community on my personal profile at Sandra Colton, or you can join our community on the College of Style profile. So there's 2 different ones that you can join. If you go to our website, all you have to do is click on the events tab and you will see it right there. Let me actually pull up. I'm going to just do it for you right now so you can see exactly what I'm talking about as far as the website goes, so that you don't have any questions on how to find it. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see exactly where to go. So on here, if you scroll, you don't have to scroll to find it. You can just go to, let me minimize so I can see it a little bit better. You can go to this up here where it says events, and I'll just try to make it a little bigger here. At the very top, you click on events and you can register to get updates for our template design summit, which is coming up. You can also be a speaker if you create templates. Definitely click on this speaker application button and submit yourself to become a speaker. We also have the Style Symposium that is coming up as well. So you can sign up for updates, or you can apply to be a speaker as well. But on this bottom part, this is where all of the community links are. So you can join the College of Style community, our Clubhouse Club. You can join the Twitter community, which is the Style Twitter community, or you can join the MarTech community, which stands for Marketing Technology. And we also have our Facebook group. So all you have to do is go to our collegeofstyle.com website, click on the button that says events, which is at the top, and then scroll to the bottom to join any number of these communities. Wherever you have the I would say the most affinity for, which is why we have so many different communities. I would go to that one first, because that's going to be your first inclination for where you show up online most often. So if it's Twitter, go to the Twitter one. If it's Facebook, go to the Facebook one. But definitely join our offline community, which is at collegeofstylecommunity.com. Make sure to put the www ahead of that. And then put in collegeofstylecommunity.com, or you can just go to our website, like I said, at collegeofstyle.com, click on the events tab, and then scroll to the bottom to have a direct link. I absolutely want you to be part of our community, and definitely connect with us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and YouTube. I just started doing YouTube videos, specifically, I should say, specific videos for YouTube. So check that out for sure. There's a lot going on over there, and one of the most popular ones so far is live shopping tips for TikTok. So go to our YouTube channel. You can find it through our website. If you just go to collegeofstyle.com, you can click on the YouTube button. It's the very bottom with all the other social media icons, and you can find it there. I'm so excited about this one because it gave me an idea for another video. Like I said, we just did live stream pre-show tips so that you can delay if you need to, and engage with your audience. And I might do one about post-show. Yeah, maybe post-show. So thank you so much for joining me. My name again is Dr. Sandra Colton-Medici. I'm the founder and CEO of College of Style. This is where you can find us, and I hope you have a really good rest of your